I'm recording. I'm setting everything up. Okay. Hey guys, Rogue Warrior here, and today I'm going to be trying to do something. I'm not the best at storytelling, but I'm going to try to tell the story of the Rogue Warrior. I know I go by the Rogue Warrior, but the actual Rogue Warrior is hopefully a mythical being. But it's 2020, who knows? But if so, he could eat. Y'all just have to stay tuned. But hopefully y'all guys like this. If you want me to do it again, just I don't know. I'm probably gonna do another one of these because personally I want to tell the story of my Rogue Warrior. So it all started 63 million years ago. I'll get to the specifics in another video, but I'm going to... I should have said that at first, but... Okay. I'll get into the specifics of it. But... multiple colors of just light. Colors of fire. Rained down from the sky. They fell. It fell down, but I have multiple stories from multiple different characters. Okay, but today we're going to be following the Rogue Warrior, and probably until I can complete his saga. Oh, not saga. I don't know the specific terms, but okay. But these beings were unlike anything the world ever will and never can see. They possessed the, they didn't look human. They were never human to begin with. I have even drawn a picture of the Rogue Warrior here, but they are not human. But the rogue as he was in his tube of fire that he fell down from, through slight gaps he could see other colors lining the walls beside him, in front of him, and behind him. But he didn't realize there were others like him, but he didn't even know who he was. No one knew. They were just there. As he fell down, he searched for another light beam. He found something blue. He found one blue. They didn't look exactly like him. Rogue looked down at his rock-like hands with lava just in between. And also, viewer discretion is advised. This stuff gets very violent. And as he moved his fingers for the first time, he could hear the cracking and breaking of stone. But he wandered closer and closer, and he looked, and he finally reached one of them. They both looked at each other, not to know what they thought of each other, but he saw something which didn't look human, didn't look like him. It didn't have the lava with the brimstone. It looked blue with fins and... Hold on, let me... Let me flip to the page that I drew him. This one's not the best, I just had to scratch this out before the end of class. But he was... Water ran down him like magma ran down Rogue. But the water creature, but the water elemental, he was starting to move around, and he flung some water on accident at the Rogue. The Rogue not knowing what anything was at the time, he went from a state of in pain to a state of mad, and he charged at the water creature, and it did not go pretty. They started fighting. Rogue started to know this. He had something growing out of his fingers, like sharp talons, as he used to dig into the side of the water elemental. The water elemental screamed in pain because that's all it knew how to do. But it came back and it hit the Rogue right upside the head. But the Rogue, opening its mouth to perform with its razor-sharp teeth and its very big choppers, he opened as wide as he could and went and headed directly for the skull of the water elemental. The teeth sunk in, and he grabbed both of his hands around the water's neck and pushed it down as he pulled up, ripping off the head of the water elemental. He just noticed water start to leak everywhere. As the Rogue did not know what to do, he looked at his hands. They were almost completely covered in brimstone, the crackling of brimstone as he moved them around. But the liquid, it didn't seem to be water. It seemed to be something else. The warrior stuck his finger in it, and it didn't burn. It sort of melted. The blood was a form of acid water, but Rogue, not knowing what it was at the time, he attempted to avoid it. But then he looked on, and he noticed a formless figure which just looked like smoke, but had a smile, laughing on. Its eyes pure white, its teeth white, but it had no body. All it looked like was a form of smoke. It disappeared whenever Rogue tried to walk towards it. It said, "You're gonna go far." As Rogue turned around to hear where the voice was, he didn't find anything. But he kept going. He kept hearing what those words were, over and over in his head, as he tried to make his advancements. He first grabbed a form of wood off the ground, but his hands mostly covered in brimstone still. It didn't burn the stick. He grabbed a rock, and he put it on, and he just jammed it into the stick. And then he was wandering, and he came across some other life form that didn't look like him. It was very small. It looked kind of like it looked kind of like a mini animal. It attempted to attack the rogue, but the rogue stood motionless, looking at it. Its little teeth biting the toe of the rogue. The rogue took what he had and just chucked it at the poor little creature, leading to the downfall of that creature. But he still didn't care. There was no form of emotion, there was no feeling, really, except for pain at the time. He didn't really notice anything wrong. He heard a scream of something, and he rushed towards it with his weapon in hand. Not knowing what it was, he went to investigate. As he was running, he looked at his hand, and a spark, then a flame, and then it just quickly went out. He did not know what just happened, but he kept following the location of the scream. He noticed everyone else there, except one spot missing. Instead, there was nothing there.